Hello, everybody, and welcome to the monthly Oracle Wisdom. I am in Hawaii. You can see it's not my normal backdrop, but I do have my cards. And right after we finish this, I am going to be going straight into the weekly Oracle Wisdom, but we're doing it a little bit differently just because time constraints. This was the best I could do. So we are still doing pick a pile, and I have the piles already laid out in front of me. I don't even have any shells or crystals or anything with me that we can highlight each of them. So we are just going to call them pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So take a moment, take a breath, and think about which number resonates with you. And if you're not sure, take an extra minute. But we are going to get started with pile number 1. So we're starting with the Ascending Life Oracle. We're then going to move on to Whispers of Aloha and finish with a single card drawn from Energy and Spirit Oracle. So card number 1 is Dice. Take time to take risks, getting out of your comfort zone, leap into the unknown, adventure awaits. So it's very easy to get stuck in our comfort zone and not want to shift from there because it's a comfortable place to be. But there are certain moments in time where we have to take a risk and really go after what it is we want or what is calling our soul, or maybe there's an opportunity that is coming up that is a little bit scary to take because it is so far out of your comfort zone, but it's time to say yes. Maybe it's even something as simple as a trip that you go, oh, I can't really do that. It doesn't work for me because I need all these things in place. Just say yes. Say yes, because something incredible can and will happen as a result of all of that. The next card out for you guys is children, raising your children, helping or working with children, starting a family, emotionally immature behavior. So if you do have children, maybe they are the focus of this month, and maybe starting a family is the focus of this month, whether it be conceiving, finding out that you're pregnant. Maybe the baby is due, and you know what? Who wouldn't want an Aries in their life? Amazing. But that last line on this card, immature behavior, I always talk about taking accountability and taking ownership of our behavior. And it's so important that we do, because when we recognize how we're behaving, and whether it be, you know, we're taking the high road and we're doing our best to take care of those around us and react in a responsible and appropriate manner to the things that are happening around us, or are we holding on to grudges and becoming petty and seeking revenge and doing things which will lower your vibration? And I understand the desire at times to want to feel vindicated, feel that sense of they got what they deserved, but it doesn't serve you if you're behaving in that way. And so maybe there's an argument, and rather than talking about it to the people that you should be speaking to, you are just giving them the silent treatment, which is absolutely an immature behavior, sending stupid messages to them, and just bang, bang, bang. You know, when people are upset and they just start sending these messages out, that's not what is going to serve you. So make sure you're paying attention to your behavior, how things are playing out. And if that is your behavior, maybe it's time to take a different road. If it's somebody else, that's fine. Let them do their thing. And if it's not working for you, it's time for you to step away and say, this doesn't work for me and I need to move on. Okay, so this is an appropriate card to come out next, which is chaos, difficult experiences, heavy burdens, test your strength, unpredictable events, opposing forces. So to me, this works in well with what I was just saying in terms of the immature behavior. normally when that's going on, there is chaos around. And some people enjoy living in chaos to the point that they create it for themselves because they don't know how to exist in a world without it, because they've grown up with it and it's what's comfortable. It's what they know. So you've got to remember, we have just had Neptune move into Aries. That happened yesterday. I'm sure today's the 31st. I've lost sense of where we are on the calendar. But we've just had Neptune move into Aries, which is a huge shift for us as the collective. And it is going to ingress or retrograde back into Pisces for a little bit, and then next year it will move permanently into Aries. So we've got that shifting. We still have Mercury and Aries retrograde, so we've got all of that creating all sorts of chaos with everything. Try traveling during Mercury retrograde. Things always go wrong. When I was heading to the airport to come here, I left early. People were saying you don't need that much time. Yes, I did. There was a fatal accident right near where the airport was, so we had to drive all the way around to get there. Where the gate was from the check-in, it was a ridiculously long period of time. There was just all sorts of roadblocks and things going on. So just be prepared for those sorts of events. I'm not necessarily saying at the airport, but just be aware that when everything starts to go wrong and play up and all these things are going on, you just have to breathe and get through it, because getting upset, getting anxious about it, none of that is going to help you or shift it. So maybe you feel like you're being pulled in different directions. And again, this is where you have to take a breath and stop and figure out what is best for you, and then communicate that with the people around you that are playing a part in all of this. The other thing is that it's saying here is heavy burdens test your strength. So none of us like being tested. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. But it is what grows our character. I talk about my abusive relationship, and I've referenced it in a whole bunch of different readings. And I would never wish that upon somebody. I would never choose to willingly go back to that moment in my life. And I was very lucky. It was a reasonably short relationship in the scheme of life. It was a couple of years. But without that relationship, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today. And I am grateful for that experience, because it made me face so many things. It made me grow. And so just if you are being tested, know that there is a bigger lesson in there for you, and you're going to get through it. My favorite mantra of all time is "this too shall pass." The next card, so second last one from the Ascending Life Oracle, is coldness, absence of love, love life is blocked, frozen in some area of your life, emotions buried deep within. So I just feel like you're feeling like you're going through it, or going to be feeling like you're going through it. And that's okay. Just understand that you've got all of these things going on, but at the same time, you've got this. There's going to be an opportunity that presents itself, which to me can shift everything for you. And if you're bearing your emotions, you need to talk about them. If it involves somebody else, go and have that conversation. And I know those conversations can be incredibly difficult and uncomfortable to have. I've had to do it plenty of times, and I did it recently. Just before I went on this trip, I had to have a conversation with somebody about something that I was very scared of what the answers would be, but it actually made everything better because everything was out on the table. They understand me, I understand them. And if you're feeling stuck somewhere, which is quite possible with the retrogrades and everything that's going on, if you are feeling stuck, think about what it is you can do to shift things. And maybe it's a matter of just needing to wait. And as an Aries, as a manifestor, I understand the frustration in having to wait and be patient. But sometimes that's what we have to do, because the universe has divine timing and we have to trust it. The final card from the Ascending Life Oracle is poor health, neglecting health, health needs assessment, mental health conditions, addictive habits. So I get it. it's a trying month, but you will get through it. The big thing here is you have to take care of yourself and your mental health. And this is why I think the reading up to this point, I kept talking about communication and looking at your own behavior. This is where it's so important for you to take care of you. It's important for you to communicate your needs, wants, desires to the people around you so that they can help you navigate through these challenges. And it doesn't need to be incredibly difficult. It becomes difficult if you are resistant the whole way through, if you are not communicating and sharing your needs and wants and the help that you may possibly need. And if you're really struggling, you have to reach out to somebody and say, hey, I need a bit of a hand here because this isn't okay. So now we're moving on to Whispers of Aloha. And the first card out is Choose Your Potential. It's your light to shine. So this whole month, while you may be challenged, I feel like it's going to force you to reevaluate. It's going to force you to look at where it is you're going, what it is you want. And if you're taking care of your mental health, I feel like you'll be able to get your light to shine through, but it's going to be a little bit of work. Okay, so here we go. The next card is Generate Shifts. Please, phase into a new dynamic. So all of this, anything that's challenging you, it is to get you to the next place. I often talk about the wildfires, and when that all happens, it's forests regenerate, and seeds that never would have been released without the heat and the fire are finally released, and then it reseeds the forest and it grows back and life comes back to that forest. When we are forced with all of these challenges, so whether it be facing our own behavior, focusing on the kids and taking care of them, having chaos and things pulled in every direction, feeling like we're completely alone, and so being forced to actually swallow our pride and say, hey, I need a little bit of help. All of this is to help you level up. So embrace that change, and it's going to be so much better on the other side of this. And then the final card from the Aloha deck is the Glow of Individuality. Adjust your life to your own spark. So it's time to really figure out what it is you want, need, desire, and start making it happen. I think this is what this entire reading is about. It's time for you to start getting what it is you need. And these challenges are going to make you step into that. So I pulled one last card from Energy and Spirit Oracle. And your card is Creation, Soul Expression, Something New. Sorry, I'm just knocking my iPad here. So Soul Expression, Something New. This is the point of everything that's going on. It is time for you to figure this out and step onto that path and into that journey. You are going to be okay through April. It's fine. It just, when we're not doing the work that we are meant to, and when we're not leveling up, the universe at times will go, I'm going to help you. And we don't always appreciate it, but it happens, and it can't be stopped because we have things that we need to achieve while we're here. And this is one of those moments. So embrace it. And can I tell you, when you embrace it, when you see the signs and run with it, it's not as difficult as it is if you try and resist it and fight it the whole way through. So let go of the things that you need to let go of. Learn how to communicate it. It's generally only the beginning of the conversation that's really uncomfortable because it's starting it. But once you're in the conversation, everything feels so much better and lighter because we make things so much worse in our heads than what they need to be. So you're all going to be fine. And now we're going to move on to pile number 2. So for those of you that picked pile number 2, your first card out is boundaries. Your boundaries are being tested, not surrendering, standing your ground, staying true to yourself. seems that we're all being tested in April. And you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Because being tested is how we grow. But it is time for you to hold those boundaries. And sometimes if you've just implemented new boundaries into your life, people can get a little upset. They don't enjoy it. They want you to remain as you were because it suits them. And if that's the case, they need to adjust or they need to go away. That's a reality, because it's time for you to do what you need to do for you. The next card out is finances. Financial issues are a factor. Trying to generate more income, good, bad financial changes, and clearing debt. So it is a time to focus on your finances. Maybe you need to go relook at things and see what situation you're in, how you need to navigate that, and also what changes you need to make. Maybe you need to reevaluate where your money is sitting. Maybe it's time to invest some money so that you can set yourself up so that there is passive income coming in for you. And if there's a bit of a knock financially, it's okay. This is where we sit, we reevaluate and go, okay, we have to figure this out, and we will. So just be very aware of it. Don't let your finances get out of control, because that's when people get into trouble. Whereas if you're aware of what's going on, if you're able to track it and have some good options, and maybe it's time to speak to somebody. So just have a look at that. Make sure you're paying attention. The next card out is isolation, being emotionally removed, choosing to be alone, recharging your mind and body, and introspection. So with this boundaries card that's come in, and with this card, I feel like things are shifting in your life, and you're trying to figure out where it's going. And if things are shifting, it makes sense that you have to look at your finances, because whenever we make big changes, often our finances are affected. So, I mean, the isolation card, it says being emotionally removed. So again, if people aren't respecting your boundaries, you may find that you are stepping away and you're isolating from those people. You may choose to be alone because, again, when you're making these big shifts in life, people don't necessarily always understand. So, and often as we're figuring our way through it, we need time alone to really assess where we are, what we're doing, and how we need to go about it. So take the time that you need. And because the other lines on here are recharging mind and body, which obviously when you're alone and you're figuring things out, and introspection. So just focus on you. You're allowed to do that. I know sometimes people will tell you that you can't and you shouldn't and all these other things. You absolutely can and you absolutely should. The next card out is happiness, feeling happy about your life, an incident that made you happy, a smoother ride through life, feeling on top of the world. So these changes that you're making are all for the betterment of you and your life. So embrace what's happening, because it's all leading to incredible things. So yeah, I feel like holding your boundaries and taking that time out is really going to shift things for you so that it puts you in a better space. And then the final card out from the Ascending Life Oracle is the waiting game, waiting for something or someone, expecting to hear news, putting your life on hold, prepared, ready, and waiting. So in doing all of these things, you may find that you are left to wait for the next step, the next part of this. And that's okay, because while you're sitting there and you're isolating a little bit, take that time. Ultimately, it's all for good things. The first card out of the Whispers of Aloha, revel in the wave, enjoy the exuberance of experience. So everything that's coming for you is going to be a wild ride. And I mean, if anyone has ever surfed a wave before, it's freaking incredible. you're paddling, and then when you pop up and that wave takes you, you move at a speed that you didn't expect if you've never been on a surfboard before, and it just carries you, and it feels so incredible. It feels like you're on top of the world. So that's the feeling that you're getting this month when you're doing all this stuff for you. The next card out is Strive for Opportunity. Use your gifts to open doors to new endeavors. So in this shift, you're going to be able to find these new doors that are starting to open and these new opportunities that are starting to present themselves. And you need to put that out to the universe that you're ready for things to shift, and be very specific when you're manifesting about what it is you want to create or what it is you want to manifest. Because sometimes when we use very broad terms, we get what we asked for, but it's not necessarily what we wanted. And it's because we weren't specific. So make sure you put that out there and keep your eye open for those opportunities that are coming through, because they will present themselves. And the final card from the Aloha deck is Wrapped by Blessings. Dwell on happiness, live in wonder. So all of this work, all of the introspection, all of the boundaries, reassessing your finances, all of these things, and looking for these opportunities, you're being taken care of by the universe. So make sure you embrace that and enjoy the ride. It looks like April's going to be a really good time for all of you. And the card from the Energy and Spirit Oracle is Ascended Masters, devoted spirits with specific intentions. You have the Ascended Masters on the other side working with you and supporting you as you're moving forward through all of these things. So it's time to trust. It's time to trust that they have your back and they're going to take care of you, and they're leading you exactly where it is you need to be and where you should be. So this is a great month for you. For those of you that picked pile number 2, I'm really excited. With all these astrological shifts and things going on, it's a lot, and I know a lot of people are struggling, but I feel like all of these shifts that are taking place really are for all of us to level up. And the reality is it comes down to whether we choose to do the hard work that gets us to the next level, or whether we choose to stay exactly where we are, which ultimately ends up being the harder road. It seems like it's the road of less resistance because we don't have to do the hard work, but because it's not where we're meant to be, it makes it more difficult. So you've got an incredible opportunity to step forward and move into this great space. So make sure you embrace it and take it and run with it. Okay, so now we're going to move on to pile number 3. And the first card out is the Devil. And we know I love the Devil card along with the Death card. Addiction problems, excess, obsession, dependency, materialism, bad financial habits, and shadow self. So if you are struggling with things, do not use alcohol and drugs to help self-medicate. It's the worst thing you could possibly do for yourself. It's not going to help. It just exacerbates a problem, and it stops you from ever getting to a point of being able to really solve that issue. Obsession and dependency. Are you stuck in an unhealthy relationship that is not serving you, and that could be you that is a little obsessed and a little dependent? It obviously could be the other side as well. But if that's happening, maybe with this Venus retrograde, because it is still retrograde until I think it's the 12th, maybe it's time to walk away from that, because that's not a healthy situation. If you want to be in a good relationship, it needs to be an interdependent relationship where you are both able to keep your individuality, you're able to function separately and individually, but you come together because you want to, because there is healthy communication, all of that. Materialism, bad financial habits. I'm telling a lot of people today to pay attention to their finances. So clearly that's a theme this month. So definitely pay attention to that. And as always, my favorite, shadow work. And it's a bitch. I know some people think I've done my shadow work, I don't need to do any more. It is a forever thing. Some of the greatest people that have done what you would think is the most amount of work, and they are our gurus that we look to guide us and help us grow and figure our way through. They think they're done at times, and then more stuff comes through. So just keep going with that shadow work, because it won't ever end, and it doesn't always need to be super dark and heavy, but always pay attention to what comes up and deal with it as it does. And there are moments where you get to take a break and just breathe and integrate what you've figured out and what you've learned and how you've grown and how you've shifted, but then it's time to get back to it. The next card out is Owl. Okay, there is definitely a theme for this reading. Deep shadow work, witchcraft, magic, inner wisdom, spiritual evolution, learning hard lessons. So everything that I just talked about. It is a month for you guys to really focus on your spiritual growth and on leveling up. Focus on that shadow work. It's so deeply important for you to evolve and get your vibration running even higher. And I mean, the witchcraft and magic, if that's what you're into, great, but just make sure you're using it for good. The next card out is contracts, important legal matters, agreements between two parties, making something official, applications and signatures. So I don't know if there's a new job, if you're moving house, buying a house, selling a house, immigration matters. I don't know, but there is something about contracts happening this month. It's making something official. So look out for all of that. Maybe a legal matter is being solved. If you've been dealing with something for a little while, maybe you finally get that solution to that whole issue. The next card out is Crossroads, faced with choices, midst of indecision, facing the possibilities in life, rite of initiation. So something's coming up this month that you need to make a decision about. And if you're doing the shadow work, if you're doing the inner work and really focusing on leveling up, I feel like you'll know what decision you're meant to make. But if you're not doing the work, then it may become more difficult for you to make that decision. Yeah, you've always got to weigh things up. But I feel like when we're really in tune with our higher self, and when we're leveling ourselves up spiritually, that the answers of where it is we're meant to go and what we're meant to do are very, very clear. And that makes it a whole lot easier than sitting there going, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. You'll know. And then the final card from the Ascending Life Oracle deck is Boredom. Bored of daily routine, wanting more out of life, longing for a change, constrained by circumstances. So if you're bored, don't worry, because you have the Crossroads coming up. Sorry, I'm not doing this very well. So yeah, if you're feeling bored and you're feeling constrained by things, that's fine. That means it's time to change something up. So figure out what it is that you need to shift and be really clear. Don't go and just do something. But I feel like that's where the Crossroads is coming in for you. You're going to be bored. You're going to go looking for something else. And that's when something a choice will be presented for you. Okay, so the first of the Whispers of Aloha deck is build on your foundations, transform through wisdom. So that wisdom is coming from your shadow work that you're doing. And you can see in this card how in touch she is with the universe, because you can physically see it around her. And when you're doing the work and when you're really entrenching yourself in that space, to see and to hear and all of those things become so much easier. And so just know that if you keep doing the work, you're going to get to a point where all of that is there and available to you. The next card out is Sage Advisor. Seek the guidance of lived wisdom. So maybe you need to go to somebody for advice, somebody that you trust, an elder. Maybe it's somebody you look up to, that you've seen on social media or anything like that. So don't be afraid to go and ask for help or for guidance. Maybe it's time to go work with somebody that can guide you spiritually or help you grow to the next level. Maybe it's somebody that can help you do the shadow work if some big things have come up and it's not something you're able to navigate on your own. But there is someone that needs to help and guide you through this to make your life better and easier. And the final card from the Aloha deck is Magnified and Brought to Life. Prepare for expansion in the heart and mind. So this month is all about expansion for you. It's about growth. It's about magnifying your light. It's about leveling up in a way that I don't even know if you knew was possible or could do or were ready for, but it's actually time. What I would say is, if you didn't see the Gemini Rising episode with Christopher Maher on the Natalie Sadie channel, you should go watch that. He's a phenomenal person that I did some work with, and that has helped me grow exponentially. He's got a book out, so we talk about that. You can go see all of that. But and if he's not the person for you, that's totally fine. There are plenty of people that you can go to, but go seek out somebody that speaks to your soul and that you feel is the right person to help you get to the next level. Because I feel like it's really, really, really important right now that you step up in this way. And so it's time to focus on all of that. And then the final card is freedom, moving on and letting go. And this is what made me think of the Gemini Rising episode with Christopher, with all of the talk about shadow work, with all of the talk about growth and expansion. The fact that freedom came up, his book is called Free for Life. And it's about freeing you from the chains of your past, from your ancestors, from our own choices in this life and things that have happened, and freeing us to move through this life in a way that is unencumbered and beautiful, so that we can live the best life that we're meant to while we're in tune with our higher selves and the divine. So I hope that these readings, regardless of which pile you picked, resonate for some of you, all of you. Please put in the chat whether the pile that you picked resonated with you. I love hearing if it does, if it doesn't, and how it all goes for you. I'm sorry that this was done in a slightly different format, but I wanted to get the monthly reading done for all of you because I appreciate your support and the views and the shares and everybody that subscribed to the channel. And I hope that you have a wonderful April. And thank you, Anne Elizabeth, for wishing me a happy birthday. I appreciate it. It's a few days away, but yes, I will be another year older. Anyway, have a wonderful April, everybody. And I'm going to be going live in the next 5, 10, 15 minutes, and we will be doing the weekly Oracle Wisdom. So join me for that. And thank you, Anne.